Hi everybody, welcome to Tech Growth Stocks channel. Today I present you a new episode. Specifically, I will give you 4 top social media stocks for 2021. So in this video we will cover 4 strong social media stocks, and they have excellent momentum characteristics and some have good growth as well, and the market has been pulling back over the last 4 trading days. So I think it's an excellent time point to get on board on these strong social media leaders. So before I start right off with the first social media stock, I have to make a short disclaimer. This video does not constitute financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only, so please consider that. And also one more quick note, please subscribe now to my channel with a link in the description below, so that going forward you do not miss any market leading stocks from me, and also that you do not miss part 2 of the top social media stocks for 2021. Okay, so that was it for the intro. So let's start right off with the first top social media stock. And as you can see it in the charts, it is BILI. Bilibili. Here you can see the long-term chart of Bilibili. And as you can see, Bilibili was a recent IPO, a quite recent IPO in March 2018. And after its IPO, it formed a nice long-term IPO base here, could break out of that IPO base around December 2019 and form a very strong uptrend since then. You can see also in the long-term chart, for instance, here we just undercut a little bit the 100-day moving average, the green line, and still we could bounce off it, or let's say we bounced off the 150-day moving average, the orange line. You see here we bounce off the 50-day moving average to the upside. Here we bounce off the 100-day moving average to the upside quite nicely. So these moving averages have been nice support lines in Bilibili. When we look in the short-term chart, we see here we have been trading sideways. We had a base in that uptrend here, in a base building phase, which is a period of pause in an uptrend, for instance. And we had a nice base breakout here in November 2020. And yeah, since November 2020, we have accelerated to the upside in Bilibili and had a very strong upside move in Bilibili. I mean, we traded from November around $50. Now we are trading at $135 in Bilibili. And yeah, recently you see here, looks like we are currently base building in Bilibili. Yeah, and just today we had an earnings gap up, yeah, after the earnings nicely, but today the overall market is coming back heavily. The Nasdaq was down over 3% intraday, I think 3.7% or something. And we see that in Bilibili as well. We had a strong earnings gap up or nice earnings surprise. And yeah, now we are coming back with the overall market, but still Bilibili is looking excellent here in the chart from a technical standpoint. When we look at the growth characteristics, these are excellent as well. The EPS growth is strong with 101%. The sales growth is also strong with 53%, and the relative strength rating, it's good with 92. So with these characteristics, Bilibili is definitely a top social media stock for 2021. Okay, so that was it for Bilibili. So now let's have a look at the next social media stock for 2021, and it is PINS, Pinterest. Here you can see the long-term chart of Pinterest, and as you can see, also Pinterest was a quite recent IPO, and that matters because in general the super performance is happening, and 95% of the super performance of strong performing stocks is happening in their first 10 years after their IPOs. So it definitely pays if you watch out for young companies with strong earnings growth and sales growth and a strong uptrend, because these could be multi-baggers and they could have very strong runs for you. Yeah, and in Pinterest, we see here we had the IPO in April 2019, and we built a nice IPO base here, and we could not break out. No, we broke down in Pinterest. We had a downtrend, and we made the low in March 2020 with that downtrend, and we reversed from that low, traded to the upside, and formed a nice and strong uptrend since then. The short-term chart, we see a nice uptrend, and you see here, for instance, a gap up, nice earnings gap up here as well. So we can say in some sense now we have a series of earnings gap ups. It's a strong sign in a stock, and yeah, we traded here nicely to the upside. Here, for instance, we bounced off the 40-day moving average to the upside, and here we bounced off the 50-day moving average to the upside. Here we undercut the 50-day, but when you see in the long-term chart, this would the green line corresponds to the 100-day moving average, so we bounced off that as well to the upside. And yeah, here, for instance, this week we had became strong back in Pinterest, but we could recover and still trade strong to the upside. So we are holding quite well, up quite well in Pinterest, especially if you consider the strong volatility the week in this current week, trading week. We had a very strong volatility. We came back strongly in the Nasdaq, I think around 8%. So I mean, Pinterest is looking excellent here. It's trading against a weak strand, yeah, and it's up quite good still. I mean, today it's down, yeah, but still it's if you compare it to other momentum stocks, it's still up very well, yeah. And when we look at the growth characteristics for Pinterest, I mean, the EPS growth is sluggish. It's negative minus 349%. The sales growth, it's very good with 67%, and the relative strength rating, it's okay with 89. So with these characteristics, Pinterest is definitely a top social media stock for 2021. Okay, so that was it for Pinterest. So now let's have a look at the next social media stock, and it is SNAP, Snap. Here you can see the long-term chart of Snap, and as you can see, Snap was an IPO in February 2017. After its IPO, it could not form a good IPO base. No, it traded into a downtrend, into a long-term downtrend, and it made its low in December 2018. Then it reversed from that low, traded to the upside, formed a nice strong uptrend here. But then we had in 2020 we had the Corona breakdown in Snap, and we made a low in March 2020 like many other stocks, and then we could reverse from that low, trade to the upside, and form a very strong uptrend since then in Snap. In the short-term chart, you see that uptrend here. You see in that uptrend we have here a base building phase, which is a period of pause in an uptrend, and we had a nice earnings gap up in Snap, which is a strong sign, and we see here as well strong volume came into the stock. It's a very good sign, and since then we have been drifting higher after the earnings strongly, and yeah, recently we had also a nice move after the earnings, strong up move in Snap. So from a technical standpoint, we are trading higher and higher, so we are looking excellent here. When we look at the growth characteristics in Snap, I mean, the EPS growth, it's sluggish, it's negative, it's minus 33%. But the sales growth is very good with plus 57%, and the relative strength rating, it's okay with 89. So with these characteristics, Snap is definitely a good social media stock for 2021. Okay, so that was it for Snap. Now we come to the last top social media stock for 2021 for today, and it is BIDU, Baidu. Here you can see the long-term chart of Baidu, and as you can see, we have been in a long-term downtrend, let's say from around July 2018 until May 2020. In Baidu, in May 2020, we reversed from the lows, traded to the upside, and we started to form a nice and strong uptrend in Baidu. Especially when we look in the short-term chart, we see, I mean, the upside momentum just started around, December 2020. So we had from December, let's say 8th of December, we broke out of that sideways phase here, long sideways phase, and we traded around $145 and quickly we ran up to above $340, 100% move in, let's say, soon 3 months. So it's a quite nice move, strong momentum move in Beidou, what we see here. And recently, yeah, we came back in Beidou as well, together with the overall market, but still we are holding up quite well here in Beidou. So from a technical standpoint, the momentum is in the stock, and I think we could see even higher prices in Beidou. When we look at the growth characteristics, yeah, these are not the best. The EPS growth, it's a little bit sluggish, it's minus 16%, and the sales growth, it's minus 3%. And the relative strength rating, it's okay with 80. So I think with that kind of a short-term strong momentum move, I think Beidou is also a good social media stock for 2021. Okay, so these were the social media stocks for 2021 for today. I hope in that video are some nice social media stocks which you can use for your research. And also, please subscribe now to my channel so that going forward you do not miss any market leading stocks from me. So please subscribe now. And I hope to see you again in the future. I think this year will be an exciting and very successful stock trading year for many of us, because with all that fiscal and monetary stimulus going on around the world, there is so much liquidity in the markets. And I think at the end that will propel stock prices and asset prices higher and higher. And we will have huge increases going forward. So I think it definitely pays if you invest your time and energy in your stock investments and do your research. I think at the end you will could have huge successes. Okay, so thank you again for watching that video, and I hope to see you again soon. Cheers.